So, some people say that being homosexual or having homosexual thoughts is due to lack of a parent of the opposite sex in your life, or a parent of the same sex, which is odd to me because, honestly, not having a father really didn't, it didn't do much, it didn't create such a dramatic, difference in my life. My mother was a drug addict, very neglectful, she wasn't really around. She was there, but she wasn't there, if you know what I mean, growing up. I haven't confided in anybody, honestly. The whole women molesting me kind of thing growing up, but I was molested by a woman when I was about 4 years old. She was a neighbor, and honestly, remembering it the way I do, honestly, I can't honestly say, if it didn't feel odd to me or not. I don't remember my feelings. I was 4 years old, but I remember being little, about 5 or 6 years old, being in school and just staring at other girls' butts. It was weird. I remember it so vividly, and going through the grades. I didn't really have interest in boys. It was mainly girls. I would I would look at their asses when they walked, and honestly, I don't understand that. I was just kind of I was exposed to pornography when I was about 6 years old. My stepdad would hide his Playboy magazines and whatnot around the room, the house and stuff, and my sister actually discovered some pornography videos, and we would she would put them in the VCR and we just watch them, and that I began watching porn when I was 6 years old, and that became an addiction for me. I still kind of struggle with it. Anyways, that's really personal. I'm sorry, you guys. Watching porn and being exposed to molestation by some member of the same sex growing up, kind of, I don't know. I don't think it made me loopy or anything. I think I was just destined to be this way. Doctors told my mother I was going to be a boy. I was supposed to be a boy. So, in a way, this is right. This is okay. This is fine. I'm just, a female. Anyways, where was I? Anyways, the whole pornography thing, I began watching it, and I'd look through Playboy magazines, and I just loved looking. I loved looking at the women. I loved the women. They were just absolutely, amazing to me. I'd look at guys, and I'd just be what's funny is that I had crushes on cartoon character guys, the guy cartoon characters I had crushes on, but, guys in real life were just kind of nah. There are those little crushes, there was a boy I had a crush on for a couple of years when I was a kid, but, honestly, my first kiss was a girl. I was, 9 years old, and it was kind of awkward because she was just, about it, and I was just, about it. I liked it a lot. And, for a while, I didn't tell my mom. I didn't tell anybody about it. It was just kind of a private thing. So, I would draw naked girls in class and whatnot, and I didn't see anything wrong with that. I didn't feel like there was a problem, an issue, any sort of fucking issue with me wanting to draw a naked chick. And I know in class that's yeah. But a girl found out, a girl saw me drawing a naked girl, and they would just make fun of me. I got bullied a lot growing up. I mean, who hasn't been bullied? But the thing is that I had a unibrow, and I was kind of overweight, and I was chunky and stuff, and I was kind of like a target. I was kind of alone my whole entire time growing up. It was really antisocial. So I was left to my creativity and my imagination. So I'd draw, make up characters, I was obsessed with Inuyasha, Sonic. I'd make up characters, draw them in class, give them names and whatnot. And this one girl she caught me drawing naked chicks, and then, next thing I know, people would make fun of me. My sister's a year older than me, by the way. She knew I told her I was bisexual when I was 12 years old, and, bisexual because, honestly, I was confused, and the thing is that, I was so fucking confused. Like, I didn't understand what I was going through. My emotions were, like, constantly raging inside. I didn't know what was right or what was wrong. And then when the counselor that talked to me about the pictures, she would say, that's not right. You're supposed to, think of other things, draw other things like cats, dogs, all this stuff in class. She said, do you have an attraction toward these women and stuff? And, like, I was just like, yeah, I'm drawing them, like, it's normal for me. I like drawing them. And then she was just like, well, God wants you this and this and blah, blah, blah. And I was a raging atheist growing up. I honestly never believed in God. And now that I believe in God, I have a lot of, I'm just going to put the whole Christianity thing over here, and I'll save that for another video, because this is going to be really long. So, anyways, aside from that, she just made me really feel like shit. Like, is it wrong? Is it really wrong that I like women? I was a kid. I was a child. I was like 10, 11 years old when she caught me. And I honestly wanted to be with a woman. My sister never understood me. She still doesn't, and I don't really care, honestly. She's not, anything in my life anymore because, well, let's face it, we're two different people, and she thinks I'm full of shit. I think she's a bitch, so we're just gonna leave it there. We're still sisters, we still love each other, but we're never gonna be friends, we're never gonna be close as we were when we were little. And even now that she knows I'm gay, she still thinks that it's just all for show. And I'm gonna tell you why. I lost my virginity to a man when I was 13 years old. And, honestly, it was really confusing. I had sex with a girl when I was 12. People say, well, that's not really sex, but trust me, it's sex. But I kind of was so fucking emotionally and sexually and physically just confused. I didn't know what I was doing. I got a dyke cut when I was like 12 years old. Like, I've always had like bob cuts, like really short hair like this, and like my hair is like the longest it's been in like 5 years. So, anyways, I got my hair cut really short. For some reason I dressed like a guy for a while. I wanted, I don't know. It was like a confusing stage. And then when I told somebody in my school, I was like, I'm bi, and then all of a sudden everybody flipped the fuck out. Like, everybody was just like, oh my god. Girls would be like, don't come near me. Don't come near me. You're gonna try to fuck me, all this stuff. And I was just like, calm down and don't flatter yourself. I mean, who the fuck does that? And I went through a lot of the whole bullying thing because I moved schools a lot too. So this happened in another school before I moved to another school. So, in that school, I was a dyke girl, lesbian girl, all this stuff. And the thing is that I was so sexually confused. And I was like 12 years old when this happened. And I felt alone, secluded, different. I didn't think there was anybody like me in the world. I was wrong, but, I was a kid. Still kind of am. But I remember I would walk around alone and I'd sit down and just think about some things, and I had sex with a guy, and I was 13. But in between those times, I've had sex with more girls than guys, honestly. And I've been with more than one guy, if that gives you a... I'm not going to give you numbers, because that's just disgusting, and I think that's personal. I'll just tell you that I've had sex with guys before. And for a while, I went through a sexually promiscuous phase for about 2 years. And I slept with many different girls and many different guys. And the thing is that when I slept with a guy, I didn't feel right. I didn't feel good. I didn't feel like I was, what's the word? Adequate. I felt inadequate when I was with a guy. Like, not, like, I don't think it was sexually either, because, let's face it, I'm not gonna toot my own horn over here, you guys. It was emotionally. I couldn't like, I wasn't compatible. Like, I felt like I couldn't make a connection. It was just kind of like a sexual component, and the sexual nature, it's honestly, it's part of life. We all have sex. It's all the whole tension and all that stuff. And honestly, I can say, yeah, I've been sexually attracted to like 2 guys out of the guys I've had sex with, and they were 2 guys that I got to know very well. And one of the guys I fucking destroyed completely because I cheated on him with a lot of girls. And when I told him about it, didn't make him too happy at all. And I broke him completely. I turned him into a different blah blah blah. I'm not gonna talk about that either because it's depressing. But I came to that conclusion when I was about 15 years old. I've been on and off, and I was on and off in a relationship with this wonderful, beautiful girl named Allie, and we started dating when I was like 10, and we've been on and off since then. Last time we dated was like 2 or 3 years ago. But I still very close to her, still care about her and whatnot, and she was my first girlfriend. But out of all the people I've dated, you know, the girls, I've always had the girls, like I've always wanted the girls more. And I played the role as, like, the guy in relationships, so it's kind of different for me. That's the reason why. I'm so much like a guy that I couldn't be with a guy. Like, I felt, I don't know the word. I don't know how to describe it, but I can just tell you that it wasn't right. And I felt wrong and gross. I felt different. I felt odd. But when I first got with girls, I started getting with girls. It was just amazing, beautiful. Like I felt like I belonged. The ridicule didn't stop, the judgment didn't stop, whatnot, blah blah blah. And you know, my sister knew about the whole girl thing, and I went to live with my dad when I was like 14. That didn't go too well, but he did know that I dated girls. I told him that I dated girls. But I didn't tell him I was, like, gay. I was just like, yeah, I have a girlfriend right now. Because I did have a girlfriend at the time. Her name was Savannah, and she was really pretty. And she's in jail now, but she was pretty. She still is. Anyways,